and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and today I want to share with you how to make my delicious chocolate, orange and pecan biscuits or cookies. As I just mentioned, today I'm going to be making my chocolate, orange and pecan biscuits. Now these are really easy to do and they are really tasty as well. We are back in lockdown in the UK and we are back to homeschooling, and I know that my son and husband love a biscuit, so I thought I'd make them this as a little treat, and while I was making them I thought I'd share the recipe with you. So here is how to make my chocolate, orange and pecan biscuits or cookies. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my dry ingredients together. So in this bowl here I have 150 grams of ground oats. So I put these oats into my food processor and I ground them up. So they've made a flour, which I'm now going to add to my bowl. And then in this bowl here I have 200 grams of brown rice flour. If you can't get brown rice flour or rice flour, then you could use plain flour if you wanted to. I can't use plain flour because I have a gluten intolerance, so that's why I use rice flour. It kind of does the same job as plain flour, I find. And then in this bowl here, I have 60 grams of ground pecans as well. So I just put these into my food processor and I blended them until they formed a sort of a crumb. And I'm just going to mix those together. And then in this bowl here, I have about 60 grams of raw cacao powder. Now you don't have to use raw cacao powder. You could use cocoa powder if you wanted to. I use raw cacao powder because it has more nutrients in it. It hasn't been processed like cocoa powder has, so it's slightly better for the body. And then in this bowl here I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder as well. And I'm just going to mix all of these ingredients together until everything is well mixed in. And then I'm going to move on to my wet ingredients now. So now I'm going to mix my wet ingredients together. So in this bowl here I have 200 grams of vegan butter, or you could use butter or you could use ghee if you wanted to as well. Unsalted butter I should say. And then in this bowl here I have about 150 grams of sugar. I'm actually using brown sugar today, but you can use any type of sugar you like for this recipe. And then in the original recipe I said to use 1 extract of orange extract, sorry. But unfortunately I've run out of orange extract and I don't really want to go to the shops just for that at the moment. So I'm actually using the juice of 1 orange and the zest of 1 orange as well. So I'm just going to pour that in to the mix. And now I'm just going to mix all of these together. So I have creamed the butter, sugar and the orange juice together, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these ingredients to the dry ones, and hopefully I'm going to mix them together and I'm going to make a biscuit. Now sometimes I find that I do need to add a bit of milk to this mix, and I may need to do that today, but we will see. I'll just scrape out, so make sure I get it all as well. And I'm just going to continue to mix these together, and if I need a bit of milk I'll let you know. Very good. So to form a dough ball I am going to need a little bit of milk for this recipe, so I'm just adding a splash of milk. I'm just using some oat milk, but you can use any type of milk you like. So I'm just going to try and form a dough ball now. I think that is going to form very quickly soon. You honestly probably only need, if you need any milk, probably about 20 mils or so. So yeah, that's forming a dough ball now quite nicely. So I'm going to start rolling these out now. So my mixture has formed a lovely dough ball now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this mixture out into biscuits. But first I'm going to flour a ball. So I've got some spare brown rice flour here that I'm just going to spread across the bottom of the board. And now I'm just going to grab a piece of the dough and I'm going to just roll this out until it's probably about 1/2 centimetre thick, I'd say. Obviously, thickness of a biscuit is your personal choice. So you decide how thick you want the biscuit or how thin you want the biscuit. We like about 1/2 centimetre in this house, so that's perfect for us. And then I have a biscuit cutter here as well. You could use a glass, you could use a cup, anything that will cut the dough is perfect. And then I'm going to put these onto my spare board. So I'll just move these out the way and show you again. So I've just got the biscuit cutter and I'm just cutting out the dough and putting it onto my spare board like that. So I've used up all of the cookie dough and I'm now going to put these into the fridge. Now you might think it's quite strange that I'm putting them into the fridge, but as I've mentioned in previous videos, I find that if I refrigerate these biscuits before I put them into the oven, they become that little bit crunchier. I don't know why, but when they go in cold, they just come out slightly crunchier, and we love a biscuit with a crunch in this house. So I'm off to put these into the fridge for about 1/2 hour now. So my biscuits have been in the fridge for about 1/2 hour now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. My oven has preheated, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the biscuits from the chopping boards that I put them on onto my, well, one is a Pampered Chef stone and one is a stone I brought from Amazon. So you don't have to, but if you have got stoneware, biscuits cook really well on stoneware. Stoneware absorbs all the badness and then just leaves the goodness. So they make the biscuits really crunchy, I have to say. But if you don't have these, then you could use a baking tray with a piece of greaseproof paper. Now, as I said, I'm just going to transfer the biscuits from the chopping boards to the baking tray or the stoneware, and then I'm going to put these into the oven for probably about 10 to 15 minutes, I'd say. Depending on your oven is depending on how long they will take to cook. And as I said, the stoneware really does make the biscuits very crunchy as well. I have mentioned this in previous biscuit videos, and I do use stoneware a lot to cook with as well. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to do this now. I've put all of the biscuits onto both of my baking trays or stoneware, and as I said, I'm going to pop these into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes now. The biscuits are cooked, and I'm now going to transfer them from the stoneware, or baking tray if you're using a baking tray, to the cooling rack. And then I'm just going to leave these to cool, and once they've cooled I shall put them into a biscuit jar, ready for everybody to eat. So that's how you make my delicious chocolate, orange and pecan biscuits or cookies. And that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. I'm off to enjoy a cup of these with a cup of tea now. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.